Hello and welcome to yet another edition of YES101's Visual Radio. Bringing you the news, I'm Vinuji Seneviratna. Let's take a look at your local news. In your local news, President Anura Dissanayaka will undertake a state visit to Maldives from 28th to 30th of July 2025 at the invitation of the President of Maldives, Mohamed Muizzu. During the visit, President Dissanayaka is scheduled to hold bilateral talks with President Muizzu and exchange several memoranda of understanding to deepen our mutual cooperation. The state visit to Maldives by President Dissanayaka is also significant as Sri Lanka and Maldives commemorate the 60th anniversary of the establishment of formal diplomatic relations this year. In more local news, the International Monetary Fund has commended Sri Lanka's recent economic progress while urging the government to accelerate key reforms and finalize debt restructuring agreements to secure long-term stability and investor confidence. It added that progress in meeting key commitments under the IMF-supported program will be formally assessed in the context of the fifth review of the EFF. The timing of the fifth review will be discussed with the government. Following a 5-day mission in Colombo, IMF mission chief stated that Sri Lanka's economic reform program, supported by the extended fund facility, is yielding commendable outcomes. Real GDP growth reached 4.8% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2025, surpassing expectations, while headline inflation dropped to negative 1.1% in Q2, signaling a return to price stability. In more local news, the Sri Lankan government has announced plans to involve the police and the Special Task Force in wildlife protection operations in a move to combat the illegal killing of elephants and other wild animals. Minister of Environment Dr. Dhammika Pattabandi stated that the decision was made following a discussion with President Anura Dissanayaka, who provided specific directives on strengthening enforcement against wildlife crimes.
International news.
In news overseas, fighting between Thai and Cambodian troops over a disputed border has entered a second day, with Bangkok warning that the conflict could move towards war. 16 people have so far been killed, while tens and thousands have been moved to evacuation centers on both sides of the border. The fighting that started Thursday marks a dramatic escalation of a conflict that dates back to more than a century. A fractured relationship between the two dynasties that rule the Southeast Asian nations underpins the deadly turn of events. The US, China, Australia and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations have all called for the fight to stop.
Sports news.
Finally, on to your sports update. Michelle Bracewell has been named replacement for the injured Glenn Phillips for New Zealand's first test against Zimbabwe in Bulawayo. Bracewell, initially unavailable for the series due to his commitments with the 100, was already in Zimbabwe as part of New Zealand's T20 international squad for the Tri-Series. With his schedule allowing him to feature in the opening test, head coach Rob Walters said the decision to include him was a straightforward one. And that's a wrap of this edition of YES101's Visual Radio. Thank you for watching.